the dial, turn it loud. Miami's pride, make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score, raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore. All for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, win it again. Podcast fam, till the end, tune in, now let's begin.
Hello and welcome to the CanesWear podcast on the FTSN network. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, and we're happy to have everybody. We got a great studio. We got great hosts today, so we're really excited. Got Panther fever going on. I've got my Panther outfit on. Panthers up 4-0 if you're a fan. If you're watching from Toronto and you're a Maple Leaf fan, I'm sorry, but right now this game is not going with you. We got the magnificent Mondo joining us. Say hello, Mondo.
What's up, guys?
All right, feel like we're on the dating game, and we got the great Gio. How are we doing, Gio?
Doing good. Should say more so like great after Miami secured Jackson Cantwell, the #1 prospect in the country yesterday, second highest ranked recruit in program history, so it's a big deal.
That was amazing until they dropped him. Once they found out that we got him, they dropped him like 9 spots today.
Yeah, I saw that. There was a new 247 Sports rankings update that dropped today. On the composite, though, he's still #1 in the country, so that's what people really look at.
I saw him tweet out. It was like, "Oh, I thank you for still keeping me at a 5-star."
I'll tell you this: it's already fitting well that he's a Hurricane, and Miami guys.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So, welcome everybody to the show. Remember, you put your comments in. One thing great about the CanesWear podcast, we answer everybody's questions as well as we can. Make comments, make posts. We'll try to get to them. So it's your show, and we're just here to make it a little bit better with all the information from the great guest panel. First of all, we got GMO, go Canes, absolutely. It's a good way to start it off. We got S. Gittleman, my lovely wife, Stephanie. I think she's got the U up in the ears. Fantastic. Welcome, Stephanie. We got Oh Snap, it's Mikey. What's up, boys? Good to have you, Mikey, for sure. And Jacoby Graggs, not to be confused with Jacoby George, stepping in. Jacoby George, what he signed for, like $200,000 for a non-draftee? I think we mentioned that last week, but that's unbelievable money for him, I think. His agents did a great job, not just because I know them personally, but when I saw that, I said, wow, $200K for the guy that wasn't even drafted?
Yeah.
It's amazing. What do they get in the 5th and 6th round?
Roughly around that same type of money, actually. Give or take, depending which team it is and just their finances.
And you get to pick the team you want to go to.
Exactly.
I don't know what Xavier signed for, but Xavier got to go with Cam, obviously, which was he could have gone to another team, and he wouldn't have had that opportunity that he has with this quarterback that he had for 2024. So when you're a free agent, I mean, you can't say later on I was drafted, but at the same time, the key thing is making it in the NFL, staying as long as you can, getting those yards, getting those receptions, and getting that pension when we're talking about money. So the big news, obviously, Gio, was we signed Jackson Cantwell, right? Second highest recruit. Who was the #1 recruit ever?
DJ Williams, who came out of California in the class of 2000.
All right. And he came out as what, a running back at that time?
Yeah, he played both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm. He played both sides of the ball, and he's stuck. And I remember DJ telling the story. I know he's told it to me personally. But I think after a year, he said, I want to go home, back to California. And he ended up staying, and he had obviously a great career at Miami and a great first-round pick as well, right? For the Broncos was your first-round pick?
Yes. The Broncos had selected him in the first round. It was right around the 28th or 29th pick, actually.
Yeah, there's something to be said. I think that's something to be said. I was a first-round pick, to say, hey, I was a first-round pick. I think you were a first-round pick in your day, Mondo, weren't you?
Well, just touching on that, I know at the time, even a few years thereafter, the late John Madden he was always quoted as saying, he said it himself, that DJ Williams, I think he played high school in California, right, Gio? And
Correct.
he is
Chatsworth
the
or so?
only player he had ever seen that could go to the pros straight from high school. That he genuinely believed that. He said that about DJ Williams.
I do remember hearing that.
Yeah.
I do remember hearing that. So that was quite the compliment there. And I see the Panthers now 5-0. 5-0 Panthers. The last Wednesday when we were on, or whatever day we were on last week, it wasn't as good of a score. The Panthers. So right now the Panthers are up 5-0. It looks like the Panthers will come back home on Friday night, up 3-2. If they can just hang on for another 12.5 minutes, I'm feeling confident.
That's going to be a nice series if they do end up playing Carolina, but it's still a little bit ways to go. But on the other side, they're playing hot. And it's crazy because they were down 2-0 in round one. It's looking like we could have a possible Edmonton, Florida rematch the way they're both looking right now. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, Edmonton, as a lot of people were talking about, Winnipeg, and but right now Edmonton does look solid. So I wonder if we'll have the home ice on that one. Did we have the better record, or did they? Or is it...
honestly, for the Panthers, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're just on the road. On the road, they're just nasty. They're tough.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So, so what else do we have going on? How's the Canes baseball team? Let's talk about them for a minute. I know we were rallying. I know UVA, I think, did they sweep us?
Yeah, they got us 3 in a row. I mean, second game we had a lead late, floundered that one. And what you didn't want to do over there was lose. At the very least, we talked about it, was win at least one over there. But now they got Notre Dame coming up this weekend to finish it off. But all things considered, they should be in the tournament. I mean, if they get swept this weekend, which probably won't happen, I guess there'd be an outside shot they don't get in. But it's looking like they're going to be a 3 seed in the tournament, all things considered, unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah. That pretty much sums it up. I mean, they tried to have a late rally on Sunday, too. That didn't really work out. Just, again, it's tough that they lost that series, but if you ask me personally, I don't think they should lose to Notre Dame this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, Virginia's obviously been – I don't think they were having the best year, and they came alive. My son was at the games in Virginia. He sent me walk-off. I said, great to hear, Matthew. Sending me a beautiful stadium over there, but it was tough. Would have been nice to get. Virginia's always had our number, it seems like, in football and baseball and basketball. So hopefully Notre Dame will have theirs. So basketball, what's happening in basketball? How's Coach Lucas doing right now?
No real imminent news right now, at least on the recruiting front. Things have slowed down just a tiny bit there. I will say, though, there is expectation for another interesting hire for the basketball program. I shared that over on the private board. Certain coach who has connections to Kevin Durant when he was coming out of high school. So little interesting aspect there.
All righty. So do we have any chance of getting the brothers or no?
No, that
definitely a no-go. Okay.
Boozer Brothers will not happen.
All right. Well, that's I was still hoping we would get them. Philly King, what's up, fellas? What a huge recruiting win yesterday. Absolutely. That was a great day. Gio, did you feel like we were going to get him? George, he visited Georgia, 6 times?
Yeah, but he visited Miami a bunch of times too. I'll put it like this. Not many people were talking about this aspect of the recruitment, but he specifically reached out to Miami to gauge their interest about a year ago because he did the research himself on the offensive linemen and the development of what Mario Cristobal and Alex Mirabal have done throughout their careers and compared it with other programs, even down to the point that he knew the names of the starting offensive linemen at Miami the last couple years. Just research. And also, again, some people will point to, he got such and such an NIL. The reality is he was going to get NIL no matter which program he went to. He was the number 1 prospect in the country. That's the reality now.
So we think Coach Maribel, obviously the people at Georgia are complaining. It's right now, you guys give them all the money. we're not anywhere close to any of these big schools like Georgia and what we pay, I believe. Think Coach Maribel was the difference?
Yeah, for the most part, the relationship he had with the family. He was actually on the high school campus the day of Cantwell's commitment. So he dropped by to see him and whatnot, stayed there for the announcement as well. So,
well, to have two offensive, I know they're not going to play together most probably, but to have Marinoga and Cantwell, back to back basically, coming into the program, that's awesome. And hopefully we will become OLU, offensive line U. And that's the way we all knew Mario was that kind of guy. And I think it's definitely developing. And hopefully we see it on the field as well. Let's see. Stephanie, Brett, you guys rock. Absolutely. The guys are the best. Thank you very much, Boo-Boo. Let's see. Oh, snap. It's Mikey. I think all the receivers will be decent pros aside from what the scout reports say. What do you think about that, guys? The receivers that are coming out of Miami.
If you're talking about George and Restrepo, yeah, I think they could latch on somewhere. Just, obviously George working with the Panthers right now, and then Restrepo with the Titans. I think Restrepo has got a really good shot. There's a lot of good early feedback on him too. Even George has gotten some good feedback too. But again, I just still think it's too early to say. But again, Restrepo being there with Cam, I'm sure he is going to what's the word I would be looking for?
Stand out, shine, get an opportunity. Yeah,
the opportunity, but also just kind of pushing for him too, just behind the scenes.
Exactly. I think Cam will definitely. I think he's going to look for him. He's a safety valve. He's going to get open, and I think if he stays healthy, I think he's going to have an excellent. He's going to make the team.
Yeah, they don't. Other than Calvin Ridley on the outside, there's one or two other guys that are all right, but. There's, not to sound like a homer or anything, but it's a perfect spot for him. You got the quarterback that you played with that vouched to the front office for you. I think it's the perfect landing spot for him.
I agree. I think he's going to be that guy. Who they got? Lockett from Seattle they got, right?
Oh, that's right. They did get Lockett.
They did get Lockett, but Lockett's what, about 32, 33?
Yeah, but he's probably like a stopgap 1 year, 2 year guy. Exactly. I totally forgot they got Lockett. You're right.
So, and they got a big offensive lineman in free agency. I think someone they spent like about $200 million on.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. They also have a last place schedule, so
which is even good.
They're going to be improved. They'll be an improved team.
They're 8-1 to win the division. If anybody's scoring at home, they're 100-1 to win the conference, and Cam Ward is 150-1 to be the MVP. I know it seems impossible, but just look at Jaden Daniels, and you will see anything is possible, right? What was it, one game away from getting to the Super Bowl this year? He beat the Lions and lost to the Eagles. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Right. Congrats to Mondo and his Eagles. Let's see. Hassan, welcome to the show. Hey, fellas, what a great day to be a Cane. Absolutely. Great day. Mario is not disappointing. Everything I read about Mario, they say, all of our fans say, he is such an amazing recruiter. Too bad he can't coach on game day. Do you think anything's going to change there, or do we believe what they're saying when people say he can't coach on game day?
Look, I think
6-0 Panthers.
Mario Cristobal has shown
6-0.
I think Mario Cristobal has shown in some capacity already since arriving at Miami that he is willing to adapt and change. One of those things being is actually getting an analyst that focuses on the time management aspect of portions of the game. That's a very real thing that has come into play into the program now. The other thing that leads me to believe that he's very much open to adapting is the offense. Look at the offense that they ran with Cam Ward. Because everyone before last year said, oh, but Mario is ground and pound, grind it out, tough defense, running the ball. I don't know. I think you look back to last year. Is that really true? or is he willing to adapt? I think he's willing to adapt, and I think he's shown it in a couple of ways. So I don't think all head coaches are hard-headed and completely stuck in their ways. Yes, they have certain philosophies, but I think there's some aspects of the game that they're willing to adapt to.
You know, what's our biggest complaint about last year? We keep on saying we didn't run the ball enough, right? So
I know that's yours. I know that's yours.
The coach that is ground and pound and pound and ground and 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're complaining he did not run the ball enough. So in that respect, he definitely did. He definitely did up his game. Stephanie, Panthers looking good. Absolutely, 6-0. That's amazing. If
6-0.
6-0. Wow. These Toronto fans, they haven't won since what? It's been a long time. When's the last time Toronto won?
It's crazy. They were leading the series 2-0, and in Game 3 here, they were up 3-1 in the second period.
Exactly.
I mean, they had to have been at that point, be like, okay, we're finally gonna get past Florida. And I mean, they still can, but man,
it's not going to be as easy as when it was 3-1 and 3-1. I was 2-0 and 3-1.
Yeah, in hockey and in soccer, when you get down 2-goal deficit, you're already like, oh. Mm-hmm. And it just flipped. Since that point, the whole series has totally flipped around. It's crazy.
Totally. Well, the backup goalie today is showing why he's the backup. He was our backup last year, I'm pretty sure, right?
Speaking of goal, Bobrovsky in the last 2 games is 0 goals allowed in almost 6 periods. It's like he's back.
Physicality, I mean, amazing because
everyone was dogging him the first couple
because he was bad.
Everybody was dogging him, myself included. I mean, it happens, guys, but you could just see it didn't seem like he had that quick instinct where if you're a split second late on your movement, it's that puck's going 150 miles an hour. It's going right by you.
Brett was watching the game screaming at Bobrovsky, run the ball, Bobrovsky.
Exactly. Run the ball, Bobrovsky. Run the ball. Pull him. Gio, do you think Miami will go after Griffin from USC, the linebacker? I saw he decommitted.
Oh, yeah, the top 10 kid. Miami was in to check in on him at his high school just about a week ago, actually. So they're looking at him and Tyler Atkinson. Those are a couple Georgia linebackers that they're looking at this year. I know he's got the official visits scheduled. He has 4 out of 5 visits scheduled to this point already between the end of May through June. I know Miami would love to get in the mix there, but we'll see. It's still early right now. They just went in to check on him. So they're going to try to push there, see potentially if they can get him to lock up for an official visit.
Yeah, we had a huge linebacker acquisition, or do we call it an acquisition now? Do we call it a pickup? What do you call it now? It's just
whatever it is. I'll take it. Whatever you want to call it.
Torrey, right? Is that the way you pronounce it?
Torrey.
Okay, Torrey, and didn't play last year, but the year before he played under Heatherman, correct? And he was.
Yep.
And how good was
93 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 3 pass deflections.
Yes, give me more. Give me more.
I think what I looked at through the Pro Football Focus metrics, actually, guy is about like 91%, 92% in terms of like tackle percentage. Like when he breaks down and is basically in pursuit of someone, 9 times out of 10 that guy is going down. So I think that's a very great rate there. And then also had, I think it was like 36, 37 defensive stops, which according to that metric, that's basically like how many times you got a team off the field on like crucial plays, like third downs or in the red zone or just certain things like that.
So in your opinion, Gio, after hearing all that, is he a bona fide 100% starter against Notre Dame August 31st?
I think so. Yeah. He was cleared medically by Miami. Miami wouldn't have taken him without that. Right now, he's almost just about 9 months removed from the ACL injury. Mm-hmm. By the time the season rolls around, it'll be well over a year that he's removed from that injury. So that's quite some time.
You guys are coming back like 7-8 months with those now. I mean, sometimes too early, unfortunately. Like Jalen Phillips, it seemed like he came back too fast for the Dolphins. I know it wasn't the same injury, correct? But you think when your body's weak somewhere, it's weak somewhere else. So, well, that's a great acquisition for us. How close was he not coming to Miami, do you believe? I mean, do you think he close to not coming, and it was a surprise that we got him, or you think he was coming to us all the time?
What, Teray?
Correct. Yes.
No, he was coming. It was between Miami and Penn State. Penn State pushed really hard,
Right.
but Miami did a great job in terms of selling the vision for his last year. A lot of what his decision hinged on was mostly who can give me the best shot at making it to the NFL this time next year. That's what a lot of his decision was based on. His agent's based here out of South Florida. I was able to talk to him a couple of times before the decision came. Miami did a really good job.
Awesome. So, and we believe he's going to be starting, like you said, Commando. And when's the last time we had a linebacker with 5 sacks? I mean, maybe we had it last year, the year before, but who was the last linebacker we had with 5 sacks in a year?
Probably Kiko. But before that, it was quite a distance.
Kiko got 5 last year, I think, or the year before?
Not last year, but the year before that.
Okay, great. Jacoby with we need Hayes Kent, Derek Cooper, and Calvin Russell. All right, Mondo, you want to give us your take on those 3 guys?
You said Gio, right? Well, actually, I wanted to ask it, or more like a statement, or I think I know the answer, but I just want to hear it from the guru. The Cantwell acquisition, pickup, or what recruitment, all that. What does this signify nationally? Because you see a flash on your phone, you see a flash on the screen. Miami beats out, or Cantwell chooses Miami over Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia. We've been mentioned that you've seen Miami compete against them in Alabama the last couple of years. But this is a kid's got Drew Rosenhaus next to him. Every school in America wanted him. He's 6'8", 315, whatever he is. What does this signify as far as Miami nationally going forward in recruiting overall? Like, this is, no pun intended, as big as it gets. The guy's a monster. And interview-wise, I heard him why he picked Miami. He sounded like he was 25. Very mature kid. Like,
Yeah.
I chose them because I loved how Mirabal and Cristobal kept calling me and talking to me. He didn't sound 16, 17 years old at all. Like, it was. So what is this getting him signify overall, period?
Well, I think you're right on the money with the maturity aspect, that you'd think he's a veteran already. 25-year-old guy, you would think just by listening to him talk. But it makes a lot of sense. 33 score on the ACT as an 8th grader. So his parents were already trying to set him up for early success. The kid, let's put it this way. In terms of what it means for perception, I think it's very big.
Right.
The reason why I think it's very big, because you don't think of number 1 player in the country in Miami for many years now. The last time that ever happened was actually DJ Williams. Anytime Miami's ever come close to that was guys like Chantrell Henderson, who they kind of lucked into. Like, he initially signed with
And
US.
not a local kid. It's a guy in the Midwest. It's not that's I think even bigger, because he's not a South. If it's a South Florida kid, you're like, all right, we get it. He's from there.
Great point.
He's a Midwest kid.
Yeah.
So this is huge.
It's not usually an area that Miami has done well in for many years. But I will say this. Someone asked me this question earlier today about like his competition that he plays against and whatnot. The top player from Missouri, like recent top guys that were big time guys, 5-star, like top 5, top 10 ranked recruits nationally, like your Dorial Green Beckhams, who was a really good collegiate player, just couldn't stay out of trouble, but he was tremendous. Luther Burden recently with the Missouri Tigers, or you even go back to a guy that played in Cantwell's area, which was Rusty Medeiros, who played for the Hurricanes.
98,
Single game sack record. So
really good player.
There's actual talent that comes out from that area. So like when people say like, oh, okay, well, what is really his competition? The kid benches over 500 pounds.
I've heard that today. Yeah.
And he's only 16. He'll be 17 in about, I think it's like May 27th, a couple of weeks from now, he'll be 17 years old. So he's already benching over 500 pounds. He's nearly 6'8", 310, 320 pounds, give or take. Both of his parents were Olympians, like elite level Olympians.
I heard that today, and I also heard,
didn't even know that one.
No, I know that. I heard when I found that out. I heard that 2 hours ago, and I also heard obviously that they're meticulous about what the kid eats. They're like to everything, like shoo, like that's,
Yeah. He's been set up for success. Look, reality is it's massive for the perception for Miami because it creates this scenario now that other players look and they see that happening
yeah.
and they start to question, like, wait a minute, like he went to Miami. Like I had this conversation with Michael Yo today on Comics on Canes.
Oh, Mario, Yo. Okay.
I'll open up on it even more on here. When Francis Mauigoa had committed to Miami, that was a really big deal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that, like landing a 5-star offensive tackle, that was like eye-opening for Miami fans. Like, wait a minute, like this is really happening. Like Mario can actually get these big dogs now in this program. Now, when you land the number 1 recruit in the country, that's a whole other ballgame because the narrative gets changed very quickly.
Yeah.
Now it's, wait a minute, number 1 player to Miami. You don't really see that headline that often. So yes, it is a very big deal. Guys will become like a domino effect after Jackson Cantwell. Like I already know of a few guys that now they're really in. Like they already had a foot in. Now they're almost putting the second foot in.
Or even if kids going forward didn't even have Miami on their radar, now they're probably like, whoa, wait a minute. That big dude went to Miami? Well, that's the thing. Go down there.
The old saying goes that I've heard this before from actual recruits that 5 stars want to play with other 5 stars.
Sure.
A very real thing.
Exactly.
Of course.
Now, I'll get to the Drew question. I'll ask you later. But so going back to Jacoby's question, we need Hayes Cain, Derek Cooper, Calvin Russell. Any of those guys in play?
Yes. I actually really like where Miami stands with Derek Cooper. For Jose Kent out of the state of Georgia, Miami and Florida very much in the mix there for him. There's actually overheard that there's a couple of ties to the Florida staff between him and them, but I know Coach Woodiel done a really good job in terms of recruiting Kent. Miami's been very honest and truthful that they actually really like him as a tight end. Some people don't see it that way. Some do. I mean, he's like 6'5", 6'6", 280 pounds. Some people look at that and they think, oh, he's a future tackle. But Miami thinks otherwise. They actually think he's actually a tight end. So we'll see. And the other name he mentioned of Calvin Russell, Miami's got to keep battling there. That's far from over. He'll announce a commitment on my birthday, actually, July 5th this year. Right. He is a Miami legacy. His mother, Shanivia Broussard, Sports Hall of Fame, women's basketball player. Yes, the ties are there, but Miami's got to keep churning away there. There's a lot of work left to be done there. Official visit season coming up in the next couple of weeks.
All right. Juan Manuel, good joining the show. Thank you. Gio Bretmondo, could Miami add a grad transfer, a D-tier wide receiver? Malachi Fields, that'd be 2 Malachis if we got him. Hasn't yet enrolled at Notre Dame. Can he transfer to Miami as a grad transfer if he wanted to?
I don't expect Miami to add a defensive tackle at this point. When it comes to Malachi Fields, all right, so I'll share it on here. I've mentioned it on the private board, and I've talked about it in some group chats about Malachi Fields, who transferred out of Virginia over this offseason and intended to go to Notre Dame. I have heard some things about that. I don't know if it's entirely true yet, if he has or hasn't enrolled with Notre Dame. Now, if he hasn't enrolled, yes, things are very interesting there, because technically if he did not enroll with Notre Dame, then it's a whole other ballgame. He could show up to another school and enroll, and he's there with that team this upcoming season. So we'll see, but it's not the first that I've heard of that situation, though.
So he's now, he's Juan Manuel says
big jumbo receiver.
Would that be a huge get?
Yeah, it would basically be what Hurricane fans were asking for in terms of like an outside receiver. You're talking about a guy that's like 6'5", 6'4". I think he's 6'4", around 6'5".
Mhm.
Uber productive for the Virginia Cavaliers the last couple of years. I think last season he had like 900 yards. I want to fact check that actually really quick, but I know who he is because I spoke about this with Amon some weeks back because I heard something about it, but I wasn't sure if there was actually like how do I say it? If there was any legs to it, like if he was actually not going to stick with Notre Dame. Last 2 seasons, he had 800 yards back to back.
All right.
And he is 6'4", like I mentioned. Yeah.
Wow, we could definitely use a guy. Now I do remember him. My son Matthew is a big UVA fan since he went there. Roots for the Hurricanes also, but I remember when Malik Washington went to the Dolphins, who had the great year, and Fields came in there last year, right? And had a good year, right? Is that correct?
Wait, who?
Who did you say?
Oh, about Malachi Fields?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see, though, because I have to look into that. I'm not sure if that's actually true that he hasn't enrolled with Notre Dame, but if that is the case, then yeah, I think things could get interesting there.
Awesome. Okay.
It's not the first time I've heard his name over the last couple of weeks.
Did you hear, Mario, today practice start next Monday? I think we can say the 2025 roster is complete, according to Jacoby. Is practice starting next Monday?
Not actual practice, but team functions, yes, like summer activities, summer workouts, and whatnot. Beck will be throwing with the guys already starting next week. Because it's funny, a Hurricane fan had asked when I posted the video that Carson put up today when he was throwing the ball with some trainers. Someone said, "Oh, that's nice that he's throwing, but what about with his wide receivers?" And I said, "Wait till Monday."
Do you think the feeling? I mean, obviously, so many people are saying if we couldn't win with Cam, we'll never win. Do you think people on average that you hear are excited about Beck coming? Do you think they're like, yeah, we had Cam last year. Who cares about Beck? What do you think the overall feeling is about Carson Beck being our quarterback this year?
I think a lot of people are excited. I do think there's some people that are a little bit pessimistic, and obviously, and rightfully so, because of coming off the injury. So far, so good. He has been ahead of schedule. There hasn't been any hiccups to this point. Again, I don't blame those people that have that little worry there. Like, okay, is he going to be okay?
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm really excited about him. I think he's going to have a great year. I'm not just because I'm a homer and drinking the Kool-Aid, but look at the quarterbacks we've had. But this is actually the most proven quarterback. I mean, Cam, but he's just as proven as Cam. And he was, by many people, thought that he would be the top pick in the draft this year at the beginning of the season. Didn't work out. We know, obviously, he did not have the best season, but we've said time and time again that they left about 900 yards on the field or so, the Georgia receivers, by dropping passes.
Yes, they actually led the nation in the most dropped passes that were actually catchable, which was well north of, I think it was 650 or almost 700 yards worth of that. So not a good stat to be known for during a season. And Georgia's running game was above 100 in the entire country. And Georgia has been known to be a team that grounds and pounds the ball. So to not have a good rushing attack there, and they had offensive line troubles last year too. We'll see. Carson, I'll share this. So I actually spoke with someone recently that had the chance to sit down with Carson for the past couple weeks, and there was concerns on Carson's end from his time at Georgia about some of the pushback that they would give about talent acquisition, about trying to land other guys, especially after guys like McConkey and Brock Bowers moved on and whatnot. And there wasn't an exact seeing of eye to eye between Beck and the offensive system after Monken moved on with Bobo. I'll share this. Just they both didn't really get along, so it was for best for both sides that each guy went their separate way. So Beck coming to Miami just happened to be the right timing.
No, absolutely. I think it was a great get for us. Hopefully, we have the receiver depth to be well worth it for him. And if tight end, I know we're high on our tight end this year. Hopefully, he will have a magic season with just like Bowers had for Georgia a few years ago, and now with the Raiders. Anthony, welcome to the show. Brett, someone said recently where by the time Jackson Cantwell is a junior, he'll only be 19, and he's going to be drafted at that age, which would be quite amazing if that's the case. Is he going to be a freshman at 17?
He'll be yes and no. So when he arrives in spring, because he plans to enroll early, he'll still be 17 at the time. He'll be 18 during his first season. Let's say if he was a 3-and-out guy, he would be 20 years old if he happened to be a 3-year-and-out guy. I don't like to look too far into the future. Guys got to develop. Guys got to get on the field. You got to see what they look like. Sometimes you really don't know until they arrive. So.
Anthony asks Giomondo, Brett, how big of an impact does this have on the recruiting for 2027 quarterbacks, having an offensive lineman like that?
I think it helps a lot. I just think I know Miami's evaluating a couple of arms around the country at that spot for next year. They already have Darion Coleman in the fold for 2026, but I would keep an eye on a local quarterback potentially reclassifying down to 2027 that Miami really likes. That's very much possible.
Awesome.
No, and following up on that, if Beck has a really good year this year, so now you got Ward had a really good year, number 1 pick.
Oh.
Now Beck has a really good year, so not just, I mean, even like transfers, like why wouldn't you want to come here? And as far as the team that you guys were talking about, I had to step out for a second. I think the team's going to be markedly better. I think they might even go deeper. The defense is going to be – it's not hard to say. The defense is going to be much better. Offensive line looks pretty stout. Running game, veteran QB. I mean, without Beck, I'd be concerned, obviously. But I think this team has a chance to go far. They really – I think they'll be fine.
We are much lower odds this year than we were last year. To win it all. We're like 25-1, which is really low in my opinion. We're also predicted to win 9, third highest total in the ACC. I think I had Notre Dame at 10, Clemson 9.5, and us at 9. So we obviously, you can say from where we thought we were going to be probably before we had Cam Ward, we probably overachieved. But once we knew how good Cam Ward is, we a lot of Cane fans think we underachieved. We did win 10 wins for only the second time in close to 20 years, which is pretty remarkable.
I mean, it's going to be a heck of an opening game. Now, it would have been interesting to see, like in 2017, with deeper in the season, what both teams' records would have been like, because we all remember the hype to that game. But that's going to be a formidable opponent, obviously, week 1. So that should be fun.
No, I totally agree with it. It's exciting. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Juan Manuel, I saw asking Flo a question. Is there still a possibility of a grad transfer player? Okay, I guess they're still in the grad transfer guys. You guys can discuss that one. Anthony, Gio, I know we possibly got too late, but because he has a big relationship, Jackson, do we have a chance of flipping Jared Curtis from Georgia?
Very unlikely. He's very much in there with Georgia. And not only that, Miami's all in with Darion Coleman. Their committed quarterback for 2026. They actually feel that he has incredible arm talent, that he's going to show that on the Elite 11 circuit this summer. And he'll continue to rise up the recruiting rankings like he has.
Awesome. So you got that. We just got to.
I'll share this, actually. Miami has a very strong belief in terms of their evaluations when it comes to certain guys that they take. And they've gone over this time and time again. Like we go back to guys like Cam Pruitt or even Hayden Lowe last year. Hayden Lowe at this time last year, I don't think he was even in the top 100 at the time. He was still a 4-star recruit. I know internally from Miami side, they felt that he definitely had the talent to become a 5-star guy. And sure enough, they were right on that. He shot right up to 5-star status before arriving to Miami. everyone complained last year, oh, Miami doesn't have a 5-star. They end up with a 5-star at the end of the cycle. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, good stuff. Panthers are victorious 6-1.
Nice.
Toronto got a late goal with about a minute and a half to cut the lead to 5, but that was all they can get, Mondo. 6-1 Panthers, 3-2, going to game 6 in
Friday night
in Sunrise. CanesWear will be at, if anybody wants to come to the watch party, at Quarterdeck. Jeff, myself, John, a few other people will be there hanging out at Quarterdeck. We'll be selling some merchandise. Great place, and that's at Sunrise and Flamingo. If you guys can join us, that'd be great. Let's see. Gio, I read Indiana newspaper. Okay, this is on spring practice, and he wasn't enrolled. Jacoby. Okay, I don't know what's going on. All right, we're having fun here. Let's see. Everyone show up and support the baseball team tomorrow. Canes Cats Heat, absolutely. Will we play in Notre Dame, we said?
Yeah.
All right, great. Let's
yeah,
keep
Notre
the
Dame.
going.
I believe it's the final series, I believe.
Miami Mondo and Gio hype us up. Canes Cats Heat, thank you so much for supporting baseball, and hopefully we can come back and finish the season on a winning streak.
Sure, absolutely.
When does the ACC tournament start?
That'll be
next week. No, I believe
it's next week.
Next weekend, I think. Yeah.
Great. Gio,
much better
I
format.
I think
too.
you answered Anthony's last few comments, Gio. I think Gio answered those. If there weren't, just ask again, Anthony. But I'm pretty sure we just got to those. Like I say, it's the fan show. We try to get to all your comments, and so just keep on firing away. It's your show. Jake, welcome to the show. I'm believing Carson's going to be fine. Definitely not Cam Ward level, but he'll be good. I'm excited to see our defense. And everybody keeps on saying that he's not going to be as good as Cam. And maybe he won't, but like I said, going into the season last year.
It's a pretty high bar. It's a pretty high bar. I'll say that.
I mean, can he run the ball? He can run. He's athletic, right? He was two scholarship athlete at Georgia, wasn't he?
I mean, we'll find out a lot about him this year.
I don't know the sport.
All the talk last season was the skill position guys around him weren't good, and he had way more turnovers than usual. And I think people are sleeping on him a bit. I think I'm sure he wants to get be higher draft pick. No, so you think he's going to be ready?
Great opportunity.
Of course he does. So great opportunity.
And if we can nail another top 5 draft pick, and I mean, if we can get another number 1 pick, that would be phenomenal. So hopefully that'll be the key. I thought if Cam Ward can be the top pick in the draft, that would help us immensely. How do you guys feel that helped us? You think kids looked at that, quarterbacks, other players looked at, hey, Miami just had the number 1 draft pick. There must be something special there.
Yeah, I mean, if Ward doesn't have that season, does Beck come here? Well, then again, he was dating that chick, so maybe. Maybe.
All right.
Too soon?
All right. So Roger Allen has given the first prediction of the board. Miami 12-1 this year, ACC champs. Do you think that's a possibility, Mondo and Gio? 12-1 and ACC champs.
I don't want to jump to that conclusion yet.
You never know with
the
injuries.
pessimistic side of me says that it's been a really long time till Miami has done that. Miami's got to continue to learn how to win. I think they have shown that they have learned that since Mario's arrived. My one question is how they finish up Novembers. Novembers have been very brutal for Mario Cristobal since he's arrived here. They got to prove it this year that they can get past that. So I'll say this. I think anything less than 10 wins on that regular season slate is a disappointment this year. Anything less than 10 is a disappointment. And they have to make the ACC game.
Oh, that's
anything
for sure.
That happens from there is gravy.
Yeah.
They need to. I mean, eventually you're getting this talent, you're getting these players, you're spending this money. They need to get there.
Yeah, because as we found out last year, if you don't at least get there, you're not probably more likely than not getting to the playoff. Unless you're named Alabama or something.
Exactly. Unless you're an ACC.
It's like the playoff committee showed their hand last year in exactly what they thought.
Exactly.
The only way Miami gets into the playoffs is they have to make
Yep,
your conference title game.
that's right.
And even that's not a guarantee if you lose that there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Roger, no way is Notre Dame beating Miami at Miami. No way. 38-20. Let's go also 51-17 over the Gators. Watch the Canes smoke. I'll tell you, Roger, if those two games are 38-20 and 51-17, you got a CanesWear $100 gift card coming to you. Remember those scores, Mondo. 38-20 and 51-17. You got it?
Yeah, there you go. I won't forget that. I'll be at the game, so I won't forget that.
All right. Hassan, smash the like button, and that's right. FTSN Network, Bobby and the crew do a great job. Smash the like button. Follow him. Remember, the show is sponsored by CanesWear, the spot South Florida and Miami fans shop. CanesWear is located in Davie. Where'd you at? 2655 South University Drive.
2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida, right next to La Spada's Hoagies, and also very close to one of my favorite places in Davie itself, Deli Tower, if you've never been there before.
Have not been there.
You never been to Deli Tower?
Never been to
Tower
Deli.
Me neither. I have not
heard of Deli Tower, but you can never heard of Deli Tower. That's near us?
Is it
Tower Deli? Oh, okay.
Tower Deli, right?
Yeah, I go to Tower Deli all the time.
Very good.
Yeah, so I thought Deli Tower. What do we got going on there? But yes, it is a
Tower Deli and Christoph's, two really nice.
Oh, Christoph's. I've been to that one.
Yeah, Christoph's. I was just at this week and Tower Deli last week, so we do go out for breakfast. But you're right, excellent places. Let's see. So CanesWear.com or visit our store. We got the Sean Taylor jerseys. We got the Ed Reed jerseys. We got the Cam Ward jerseys. We got the starter jackets. Tons of Cane stuff we have that just came in. Plus, we're going to be getting so much more for the season. If you're a Panther fan, we got lots of Panther merchandise. I think you see behind me. I've got the Barkov, Kachuk jerseys there. We've got Inter Miami, Messi, that guy that everyone seems to forget about, that we got Messi. It was like the biggest thing in the world last year. Now it's like he still plays for us. And I think like the best team in soccer. We got some Heat things, some Marlin things. I think they're still playing, the Marlins. And of course, Dolphin merchandise as well. So come on down to CanesWear at 2655 South University Drive or CanesWear.com, the spot, South Florida sports fan shop. Gio, how big is the Cantwell commitment for Mario and Momentum? I think
I had answered that earlier. Yeah. Okay,
it's going to lead to obviously more commitments. We're going to be excited that people are going to see, hey, we got this guy from the Midwest, and that's amazing, I think. But then again, we got Francis as well, right? He was a pretty big recruit for us from out of state.
Yeah. Well, actually, so he played his final years of high school football at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, very close to Tampa area.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, he was out in California. And then before that, American Samoa. So out-of-state guy he was, yes.
Mm-hmm. And we've had some great – everyone thinks it's all about recruiting only South Florida players. But we've had some great players in the past from other states. I mean, Ed Reed came from New Orleans, from Louisiana.
Reggie Wayne.
Mm-hmm. So we've had quite a few. That we're not in South Florida. Everybody thinks all the players are only in South Florida, but they're all over the country. So we just got to get. It's a battle. So congrats to Mario and the team for bringing these guys in. Let's see. Do you think Miami still has a chance with Tristan Keys? Hassan asks. That's a new name today.
Yes, they do. Actually, there's been a little bit of chatter that he may be backing off his commitment soon. Miami actually went to go see him recently for an in-home visit during the spring evaluation period. I'm not saying that Miami's the reason there. There's a lot of programs involved, but Miami will be in the thick of that recruitment. He does have an official visit set, and that recruitment is probably going to stretch out long-term as well, because he has some plans for some game day visits the last time I spoke to him.
All right, good stuff. What position does Tristan Keys play?
For those number one wide receiver in the country.
All right, well, there you go. In case you weren't paying attention, Mondo. Now we know who it is. 61305 Sports Now. Go Cats. Thanks for joining the show. 305 Sports Now. Hassan says, don't forget about Joel Irvin. He's a beast. Did we forget about Joel Irvin?
No.
Okay.
Miami's really high on him. He's actually the other offensive tackle that's in the recruiting class right now.
All right. Jake mentions, yes, a terrible, tragic accident with the Darius. Any additional info that we've heard on that? We're praying for
nothing else recently, aside from some of the facts that came out that he was the driver of the car that he was in, and then everything is still under investigation. It's a really sad situation overall. I don't want to comment on it yet, but I'll say one thing hypothetically. If I'm not saying this is what happens, but if he is found at fault or whatever reasoning, I think everyone knows the obvious what will happen. He will no longer be at Miami. That's usually how those situations play out. But again, just you got to let the investigation play out. It too early to tell what's going to happen until everything is made clear.
Yeah, it's just a sad,
really tough situation overall because I'll put it in perspective. Not only the family of 3 that had passed away the day before Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That whole family being turned upside down because 2 children that had passed away in that accident, but also even Hayes's family too. Like, do you have a cloud hanging over your family right now that what's going to happen? Like, is something bad going to happen? Or it's a really, really sad situation all around. And sorry to the victims and everything that happened. And it's just really sad.
Absolutely. It's, bad things happen just every day on the road. So it's just, you just got to be lucky. And that just came out of nowhere. When I saw it, I think I saw first person was Mark Fletcher pray. And I was like, I didn't even know what happened at that time. So, let's see. Thanks for asking that, Jake. 305 Sports Now. What about Wingo? Samorian Wingo is the name?
Yeah, he's out of St. Augustine, Florida, 4-star wide receiver that's visited Miami a couple times this offseason. Florida also in the mix and a few other programs. In terms of where Miami stands with him, I'll put it this way. There are some guys that they have ahead of him. Miami's casted a really wide net at receiver, but you have guys near the absolute top like your Tristan Keys, Calvin Russell, Van Spafford, Braden Robinson. Those are some of those names. And then toss in other guys like Samarian Wingo and Messiah Hampton, who they're really high on. I don't expect Miami to press the gas there right now with Samarian Wingo without getting a feeling or some type of inclination from some of their other top guys at the position. More so like we'll wait and see what happens. If Miami wanted him, yeah, they're in a really good spot. But I'd lean more so to Florida right now because Miami has the net casted really wide at wide receiver. And majority of them are going to visit that first weekend of May 30th in a couple of weeks from now.
Let's see. Hassan, Gio, where do you think Miami stands with the safety Fitzpatrick?
Really good position. I think I shouldn't say I think. I mentioned this earlier today, actually, on Comics on Canes, but I'll mention it here too. I think not enough people are talking about that recruitment right now. It's kind of low profile because of the way the family handles things. Justice Fitzpatrick is actually the younger brother of Minka Fitzpatrick, former Miami Dolphin, and also now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, multi-Pro Bowler guy. Mario Cristobal recruited Minka coming out of the New Jersey area when he was at Alabama. He was one of the primary recruiters in that whole battle back then and whatnot. Actually, Al Golden really wanted Minka Fitzpatrick because of the New Jersey ties as well. But Minka was not having it. He didn't want to play at Miami. But younger brother is actually very interested in Miami. A lot of other SEC programs in the mix too, but Miami has done a really good job in terms of recruiting him, even to the point that they're kind of setting the pace there for other programs too early on.
Is he a 26 or 27?
2026, he's a top 50 recruit in the country. He could play corner or safety. He's likely a safety on the next level.
If I recall, Nick Saban had said about Minka Fitzpatrick that he was the best defensive player he ever had. He was like a coach on the field, and he had said that, and it was a great acquisition for the Dolphins. Didn't work out for them. Yes, they traded him, but Flores traded him. But with Pittsburgh, he was doing great. But as a college, he was a star for Alabama.
Yep.
If his brother, as you said, it's his younger brother. If he can bring in anything like his, he would be in a huge get for us.
Minka's very much involved in his process too. He actually plans to join Justice on a couple of the visits. And actually, last time that Justice was on campus, over a month ago, Minka was there with him on the visit. So there's a lot of ties there between the family and Mario Cristobal. They're very comfortable with him.
That's awesome news. We can definitely use someone like that. Before Mimo Management, welcome to the show. He asked about Calvin Russell. You mentioned before about Calvin Russell that you thought we possibly could get him.
Yeah, that Miami's still very much in the mix there. They got a battle with a couple of programs like Syracuse, LSU, Oregon, Florida State. All those teams are in the mix, but it's not one of those situations that Miami has it as a done deal despite him being a legacy. Like, it's very well known now, but Miami's got to continue churning away. He announces on July 5th. They still got an official visit with him. This is why you recruit to the end.
Absolutely. Are we finished with transfer portal guys, or can we still get some?
The expectation is that no more additions, but someone was mentioning that Malachi Field situation, and I think it's funny that it's starting to make the rounds now. I had heard something about that a couple weeks ago. The receiver Malachi Fields, who transferred from Virginia to go to Notre Dame. I have to do my homework there and find out and actually make a couple calls and see if that's actually the case, that he hasn't actually enrolled at Notre Dame, because if he has not, then yeah, that changes a lot of things, because I know there was a couple of people in the building that spoke with a couple other people that I know that they really liked his tape when he had first hit the transfer portal in the winter. But again, Miami didn't have a quarterback back then at the time, so circumstances change.
With the new NIL rules, whatever they are, the Wild West, can a guy like Carson Beck, is he allowed to talk to the players if he's already enrolled the team to try to recruit them?
Here's the thing: if that player is already enrolled at another school, like, all right, so players talk with other players. It's more so like from the coaching staff, like, aspect of things. Coaches can't just go and reach out to another player from another team and whatnot. So it's kind of a tricky situation. So you can't. It's so hard to prove tampering now. Like, for example, like Wisconsin tried to say, "Oh no, Miami tampered with Xavier Lucas." Actually, Miami did not tamper with Xavier Lucas. Xavier Lucas actually just did not like it in Wisconsin and wanted to come back home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a South Florida kid who went to Wisconsin. I don't think that's a very good fit.
No, exactly. That's when they go there and you're playing in South Florida and you've just got to go through one of those winters. I don't know how any South Florida kid wants to go up to those northern places. I mean, the first time you get hit must hurt like heck when it's freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And all right, so that's a good point. So if getting another 6'4" receiver would be a game changer for us, wouldn't it? Another. Do you even have any?
What happened?
I said getting another or getting these 6'4"
Yeah,
receivers.
it's
How much of a game change would be for the team this year on offense?
it's still hypothetical though, because I have to look
See if
into
he
the
says
situation.
so. Once he's enrolled, he's done. Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Juan Manuel, didn't Minka Fitzpatrick make the star position famous? Was that the Honey Badger LSU who made the nickelback famous?
The Tyrann Mathieu and Minka
Matthew.
Fitzpatrick, they made that like nickel/safety kind of hybrid position very popular. Yeah.
Good call, Juan Manuel. Roger Allen, fellas, did you see on 3 Danny Cannell picked the Canes to not, I guess that's NOT, make a bowl game and be this year's FSU? Danny, you know, I usually like his opinions and things like that, but obviously
He's a big UM fan, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big guy, but usually calls him like, but that's not a good one. Not make a bowl game. I mean, you got to be like FSU to not make a bowl game.
Crazy.
That is crazy. So, Mondo, how do you feel about that?
I mean, not make it's well known that Danny Cannell has always not exactly been a fan of the Miami Hurricanes.
Anything possible from the graduate transfer angle? Can we still get some of those? Are those guys available? We already said we're pretty much stopped, right?
Unlikely. Miami's pretty much done unless there is something that materializes with that Malachi Fields thing. I'll repeat it again. I overheard something about that over the last 2 weeks. Thought it was interesting, but I just didn't understand because portal had closed at the time. But if it's true that he is not enrolled at Notre Dame, then yeah, that totally changes the whole ball game. But outside of that, just there won't be any other guys. That it's pretty much done with for the portal. Let me see here. But yeah, about Danny Cannell though in general, I thought it was quite interesting. It kind of seemed to me like he wanted other people to feel the pain he felt last year, Florida State winning only 2 games. Misery loves company.
Yes, exactly. Jake, with the thank you. On 3, I was glad to hear Jackson speak up a bit yesterday. Hopefully, Hassan, hopefully Jeremiah Smith start hating the Ohio winner and comes home. That would be a great thing. I mean, that would be awesome if he did, but obviously he's not coming this year. But he could come as a junior. Can he go to the NFL? You got 3 years. You have to have eligibility to go to the NFL still, correct? So he's still got to play 2 years.
I'm not gonna hold my breath. I think it would have to be a really big change of heart or just really wanting to come home. Sometimes that happens, you know, guys like Xavier Lucas, he wanted to come home, but
he got his championship. If they don't, you know, he's there for the repeat, and obviously I think Ohio State can pay people as much as anybody, if not more. I mean, they just have a fortune of with their enrollment, how big it is, and their alumni. Obviously, we've got Juan Manuel and Hassan here as Danny Cannell not likers, let's say, to say the least. And yes, he does have Canes envy. Did he ever beat us, Danny Cannell?
As far as I could recall, no. I know he played for Florida State in the early 90s. I believe he got
against Gino, I think, right?
Yeah,
he
got benched back in like the 94 season or something like that.
Yeah, they may have beat us once, but I thought he was a pretty good announcer. Was he on College Game Day or he was on something? I don't know what happened to him, though, but I think he just had a different viewpoint of everybody else. Let's see. And that is a good question. It's off topic from Hurricanes, and I haven't heard anything about them in the last week or two. But the best gossip the week before was the Bill Belichick. I mean, that was I think that was fodder for everybody. And it's quiet down. He must have put his foot down.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter of people saying that, he may already be out of that contract. But before the season even starts and whatnot or whatever. Here's my thing. I don't see North Carolina just moving on from him like that. Literally right before a season, him walking out and that would be literally disastrous. That would be the worst thing to happen. And not only that, they just landed one of the top linebackers in the transfer portal, and Andrew Simpson from Boise State. So there's a commitment there to, trying to win some ball games this year. It's not like the guy's asleep at the wheel.
No, exactly. I think there is. And he's got his son there too, right? And he wants his son to eventually take over there. Supposedly rumors are. So
yeah,
we'll see. I don't think he's lost it or gone senile yet. But I'm sure Bill Belichick is still a great mind. But I have seen guys lose it, at a certain age, all of a sudden from one year to the next. It's been a couple of years since he coached. And let's face it, his teams weren't that great the last couple of years in New England. They didn't make the best pickups. Welcome to the show, Andrew Brown. Hey guys, Gio, who commits to Miami first? Tristan Keys or Derek Cooper? Who are you calling? Will either one of them commit, and which one will be first?
I would go with Derek Cooper. Like I've mentioned, I've had a pick in for him in favor of Miami dating back to November. Haven't moved off of it. I don't plan on moving off of it either. I actually like it even more after Miami secured Jackson Cantwell yesterday. So.
Any relation to Cooper, who used to play for the Hurricanes?
No.
Okay. So, North Carolina, may not want bad PR. Let's see. Lord Bakington says he heard Bill banned his girlfriend from the facilities. I wouldn't be surprised because when she gave him don't answer that, and he was a little bit of a laughing stock, he probably said, okay, let's basically see, I'm Bill Belichick. So let's see. So if we were to get Malachi, right, we would have two receivers named Malachi. Has that right? We have the other Malachi, right?
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah. So have we ever had? When's the last Malachi we've had? Let alone two receivers named Malachi.
Been a while.
It'd be quite interesting. I want the guy just for the fact that we'll have two of them. That'll be great. And it'd be awesome to have a big-time receiver that I think's got a lot of potential. All right, so any other questions you can ask away. Mondo, we're going to be checking out here in a minute. Mondo, you got anything to add? You've been very boisterous this show.
No, it's yesterday was like one of those days that you'll remember for a long time. Perfect timing for the show, I guess. But number one, I was even getting text messages late last night from like rival fans, friends of mine, like, you guys got who? Like, how'd you guys pull that off? Like, so it's resonating. It's a massive get for the Miami Hurricanes.
It's as big a deal as when Butch Davis landed DJ Williams. I'm not saying that Jackson Cantwell is going to become like DJ Williams, whatever. You don't know what happens years down the line, but from a perception level, it's right on par with that.
Absolutely.
Someone mentioned before he sees him as a similar to a Jake Long type person. And obviously all the great linemen, you can bunch together. Jake Long was at Michigan, one of the great linemen in college football. Yeah, probably better at Michigan than he was at the Dolphins. I don't think he ever gave up a sack the whole time he was at Michigan. But that would be awesome. But at 6'8", 310, 315, I know he has a great diet, but is he a little on the thin side?
The Jackson Cantwell?
Yes.
No, he's just built very well. He's a massive kid. He's like 310, 320 pounds.
That's 16 years old.
He's not, how do I say it? He's not a sloppy 310, 320. Like, he's very well built.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. And if he's that smart, what'd you say for those just joined us late? What did he get on his ACT or SAT?
33 as an 8th grader.
33, and his parents were Olympians. So he's the kind of guy we want representing the University of Miami for sure.
Oh yeah.
And to think, hopefully we'll get 3 years out of him. And offensive lineman, is that a guy like Marinaga that can start right away?
Like Maunyo? I don't know. Here's my thing with Francis. The biggest thing that I saw, and even Steve Kim mentioned this to me because he passed by the recruiting section when Francis came down for a game day visit. And he had told me, he's like, wow, Gio, like some of these guys, like Francis, like he looks like he could suit up right now. Francis, from like a physical aspect, he was just ready out of the box. Like I remember seeing him the first time, I was just like, wow, like this kid is still in high school. Like I couldn't believe that. Guys like him or like Hayden Lowe, it's just unbelievable, like what they look like before everything all began. I even like back then looking at like Francis and Samson on the same visit too. I thought back then, I'm like, yeah, Francis could play right away. Samson may need a little work physically. Like just I don't know if Cantwell will play right away like Francis. I still think it's too early. I want to see how Cantwell develops into his senior year. But do I think he could be a big time player? Yeah. I don't know if he'll be ready right out the gate like Francis was.
He seems very mature, like we said. He's obviously that's smart. He's been bred. I'm not going to say who was it? Tony Marinovich, who played for the Raiders and played for USC. That was
Todd. Yeah,
Todd Marinovich. That was bred to be like the greatest. No artificial ingredients, nothing. And then obviously he got a little older and was on his own. He wasn't able to keep up that lifestyle.
He got a hold of some other ingredients, I think.
Exactly. Lord Baker can ask, is that the rule? Is the rule for grad transfers that you can hop on a portal anytime, anywhere?
No. The way they set it up going into this year, that you had to be in during the portal windows, but Xavier Lucas showed this year that technically that does not matter. You could finish up your semester or your courses at the school you're at, and then just you basically leave that university and you go enroll at another one. That's what Xavier Lucas did. But that's because also Wisconsin was kind of holding him hostage.
Okay, well, but he supposedly signed a contract for 2 years, at least.
Yeah, that's what they say and claim. It's really hard to prove that because here's the thing: the revenue share hasn't even 100% kicked in yet. Like there's still a ruling that has to come down with that, with the house and the settlement and whatnot. So there's still a lot of guardrails that are not even up yet. That don't really make a kid. Basically, that he would have to 100% honor that, like, oh no, you owe us this or that or whatever. Like, it's just kind of moot point right now.
Absolutely. Let's see. Juan Manuel pointing out that we have the Bible team with we have a Malachi and Abraham and a Moses on our team. And then hopefully that means something, and it leads us to the promised land of the of an ACC and
championship.
Yeah. If we can be, I'll be coming out with those promised land T-shirts.
I see two interesting questions here. Actually, three. Actually, two are questions. One is, I don't know if it's a troll or not. Someone here said, I don't see any big time high school commit receivers to Miami ever. Does Malachi Tony not ring a bell to you? I know maybe Malachi wasn't extremely highly ranked. Some of that had to do with him reclassifying, but anyone that watched him play down here knew that it was no surprise what he did at Miami this spring, and that he can make an impact right away. And again, they also landed Josiah Trader the year before. He was a 5-star on, I think it was 2 or 3 out of the 4 ranking websites. So again, like, I know people get hyper fixated on the whole Jeremiah Smith thing. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Smith was an incredible talent, but this whole narrative that Miami can't land receivers, I think it's stretched beyond what the actual truth is. The other things I see here, what's the safety board looking like? Seems like it changed recently. The names you got to know there: Blake Stewart, Justice Fitzpatrick, Devin Jackson. I feel like I might be forgetting a name or two there. Devin Jackson, Blake Stewart. I know they're trying to still go after Zeke Fort, who plays at IMG Academy, and there's a receiver from the Orlando area. I think it's Orlando, somewhere around there. CJ Hester, that they're really interested in recently too.
Awesome. Where are you getting those, on Twitter, or where do you see those, or X?
No, I see it here on the side comments here inside
Okay.
of the stream. There's one other question here. Gio, I saw that the number one tight end's visiting Miami. Yes, Mark Bowman. He actually reclassified from 2027 to 2026. He's out of the state of California. I believe he still remained the number one in the entire country, even with reclassifying. Doesn't happen that often, but he did. He'll be visiting Miami. I know a couple other programs in there. Georgia's considered the favorite right now.
Yeah, Lord Bakington said, I wonder if they're going to drop Cantwell a full star. Well, they did drop him, but not a full star. He's still a 5-star. But, we can't have everything here at Miami. But I'd like to say we'd rather have results on the field than the lucrative and the highly ranked recruits, but we want them both, obviously. But that has been typical. I think you worked for Yahoo, right, recruiting, Gio, and you saw that all the time.
Some years back, yeah.
Even there's Miami being dropped.
There's some politics that go on.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is an interesting question, actually, because I know Mondo's a Laker fan. This will blow your mind. So, Tur30 Will from YouTube shares, will we get an official visit with Jet Washington? So, Jet Washington is a 4-star safety. If I recall correctly, he plays at Bishop Gorman. He's like the nephew or related somehow to Kobe Bryant.
Oh, wow.
And he's like a 6'4" safety.
Wow.
Okay, get that kid. Yeah.
What year is he?
2026, this class.
All right, great. And he's thinking about coming here?
Nice.
He's wanted Miami to recruit him. Like they just actually recently extended the offer. Some people were wondering like what was taking Miami so long, but yeah.
Awesome.
Wow. And what was his name again, Gio?
Jet Washington.
Oh, Jet Washington.
Great name.
Great name, yeah.
Anyone with the name Jet is just a fantastic name. I mean, I thought they were going to call me Jet Brett, but hey, I didn't.
No, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that kid. Kobe's nephew. Wow, nice.
Yeah, we like to have like legacy type talent. They didn't have to be here at the U, but they could have been somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting
That's
a lot of
info.
It's awesome. So, any other questions there, Gio, that we missed?
Yeah, Juan Manuel V shares. How did Armando Blunt, Hayden Lowe, and Lightfoot look this spring? All three look great. Actually, Marquise Lightfoot took a really big jump in the spring. If he didn't have guys like Mesidor and Bain returning, he could start here. Actually, he made a really big jump. Armando Blunt was the guy I was talking about before spring practice even started. That he was really impressing during workouts and whatnot. Carried that into spring as well. Both of those guys are going to play a lot this year. And Hayden Lowe, everyone's heard all the rave reviews since he arrived. And he also backs it up with his play, too. He's going to be in that rotation this year, too.
Yeah, you've got Andrew said, let's see. So Art said first, Cooper and Russell next to commit. Let's see. Sorry, last two questions, Andrew. No problem. Any shot you would like to call on who and when the next commit is coming? And second, who is the prediction on Miami ends up with on the DL?
Talking about the defensive line. There's one guy that I really like them for right now, and I've had the pick in for about 3 months now. The Ashari Charles out of Venice, Florida, 4-star pass rusher. I just still think it's very early in terms of the rest of the defensive line guys. They have a lot of guys that they're going after, a lot of guys that they're going to be hosting for visits. Defensive end, it's not the strongest year either. It's much better for defensive tackles. So I don't want to jump just yet on that. Now, about your question, though, about calling a shot on who could be the next commit, don't hold a gun to my head if it's not this guy, but I could see potentially Blake Stewart being the next commit for Miami. Things have been trending very well there for a couple months now. They're still going very well. So, again, don't hold the gun to my head and come back and say, oh, you said it was going to be this guy, and it happens to be someone else. Recruiting moves very fast, but I really like where Miami's at with him, particularly.
All right, awesome news. Proud Pack TV, welcome to the show. Proud by Pack TV. Proud by Pack TV. I can say that 3 times fast, Mondo. How is our second unit on the O-line looking?
From left to right, from what it was in spring. So you had Sampson at left tackle, left guard. Technically, it would be Matt McCoy right now. But that was because he was injured most of the spring. Him and Ryan Rodriguez are going to compete back and forth for that starting left guard job. The backup center, it was competition between S.J. Alofaituli, who came out of Bishop Gorman in this past recruiting class, and also, oh my God, what's his name again? Nino Francavilla. Both of those guys were competing there. They also were cross-training S.J. at right guard too. So those 2 guys are still competing there for that second spot at center. And your right guard, Juan Manaya, would likely be your backup right guard, but he kind of got nicked up along the way during spring. Hopefully all good to go for fall. We'll see. And right tackle, Tommy Kinsler, who they're really excited. They're really excited about the development in particular about Tommy Kinsler and Juan Manaya during the spring. They really liked what they saw from those 2 guys.
Brett, we know that Gio's excellent with recruiting, but how about the pronunciation on this kid? I mean, those 2 names, he just beautiful. That was like, wow.
He is like a speech teacher. He's phenomenal. We could have a linguistics class right here. Great point, Mondo. I mean,
that was like brilliant.
You just roll off his tongue. I will say that alone makes Gio worth listening to 24/7 to get your information. Do you think Damari, Lord Bakington, with one of the top names, Lord Bakington the third, do you think Damari will move to safety? I hope so. He has all the traits that he could be an All-American.
I don't think he should move there full time, but here's my thing about that Damari situation and whatnot. He's very much still going to compete for a starting job at cornerback this year before the season starts. Nothing is set in stone yet. I just think in the aspect of if you want to get on the field as much as possible this year and continue to put up tape, I think it would be wise if you're not listed as one of the starters or you get an inclination that you're not going to be one of the starting 2 cornerbacks, even though they're going to rotate those guys like Damari's going to play, OJ's going to play, Lucas is going to play, O'Connor, Brantley, Keontae Scott, all those guys are going to play this year. They're going to play a lot. But if you're not a starter, yeah, I think you should consider, aside from getting rotational snaps at cornerback when guys need to come in and out of the game, you could play more being at safety. Miami could use the help there. Like yeah, they added some guys, but they would still, I know they would be open to it. So if you ask me personally, I don't think a full-time move there, but you want to get on the field more, you can get some snaps at corner and safety. Just my opinion. Juan Manuel asked, could SJC time at fullback or blocking tight end? I don't think so right now. And last one, Hassan shared, Gio, who do you think will start at running back, Fletcher or Lyle or Shamar? Really interesting question, actually, because I think Shamar has a lot of interesting traits that are kind of similar to Damian Martinez. I'm not saying he's Damian Martinez, but really hard to bring down, moves the chains, consistent running back. Himself, it just outright was FCS Freshman All-American, Jerry Rice Award winner, second guy to win that award coming into this program. Cam Ward was the first. 15 touchdowns last year, over 1,000 yards. North Dakota State just had a guy that they sent in the first round this year too, if anyone's questioning like the program that this kid's coming from. I don't know necessarily if he starts. if you asked me personally, like my view on that running back room, I think Jordan Lyle has the highest ceiling of anyone in that room right now. I think he could be like a really big time guy if everything works out correctly and plays out. I think Mark Fletcher's a really good player too. I think you probably see Mark Fletcher being the pseudo number one, even though there's going to be a whole rotation going on.
Mhm.
But I could see Lyle getting some starts in some games. I could see it being Fletcher. Maybe Brown picks up a start or two along the way. But I think Jordan Lyle is the one with the highest ceiling in that room.
I'm going to go on record right now. If they all get enough carries, all right, and they're all going to get 1,000 yards this season. 6 yards a carry or more each, which means they all need about 167 carries each to go ahead and get that's 500 runs. Last year we ran for a little over 2,000 yards. We had 4 guys with 600 last year, right?
Yeah, well, you had Damian who eclipsed over 1,000. You had Mark Fletcher had about 600. Jordan Lyle had around 500. I know AJ Allen was around 300 as well. And then
I thought he was over. I thought it was 4 with over 500. AJ Allen didn't have 500 yards. I thought
no, he didn't have 500.
Okay, I
But
thought it was 4 or 5.
He had some really good like
He had
300.
one game like 180 yards, didn't he? It was like in the second half. He came on with those 2 big runs.
I'll tell you right now, actually. Hold on.
I'm saying over 500 for.
Yeah, while Gio's checking, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he just leave FIU? Is that correct?
Did he really?
Yes, he left
Yeah.
FIU to go to Tulsa.
Right,
Okay.
Now he's no longer a Miami Hurricane. He's a Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Golden Hurricane. There you go.
He's a Tulsa. He wanted to go there. I think that's hopefully he does well. I like the kid.
In terms of the rushing yards last year, you had Damian over 1,000, Mark Fletcher 600, Jordan Lyle over 400. AJ Allen was actually under 200, but damn,
he had more than.
AJ Allen could not have been 200 yards. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had 183 yards, but the year before that, he had
more.
361.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not challenging here, Gio. I just got to see something. AJ Allen, Miami Hurricanes. Last year, wow, is that all he did? I mean, Juan Manuel said
got like
high with those running back comments, but I don't know where I saw those stats. And
maybe Brett was correct. Maybe they should have run more.
that was I could have sworn. Okay, wow, maybe it was the year before. But you said you didn't even have that many. So, all right, so I'm going on record still. If we get enough carries, the guys stay healthy, they'll all run for 6 yards a carry. All right, our offensive line is going to dominate. And I'm going to give Francis, he's going to run for 3,000 yards on himself, just leading the blocks on these guys. Okay, so it's like I saw, like, who's the fastest guy? You know, it's the guy, the cameraman running with the player, you know, when they're running down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, last thing, Cam and Xavier, we said there may be one more question after this, I think, from Hassan. Cam and Xavier, I'm going to say they're both going to be, obviously, Cam's going to be starting. And I'm going to say Xavier's going to make the team and be and going to catch 40 to 50 passes this year if he stays healthy from at least stays healthy. He will be on the field and he will get 50 receptions, in my opinion, for Xavier. I just think he's going to be all over the place. And Cam's going to have to get rid of that ball and find somebody open because chances are his offensive line is not going to be that great. So he's going to have to get rid of that ball quickly.
Well, 50 catches for an undrafted rookie receiver would be brilliant. So that'd be a heck of a season.
I'm going on record on that. That may even be more likely than the 3 runners of 1,000 yards, but we'll see. Hassan, Gio, name the starting linebackers for Miami. Can you even name 3? How many people can actually name 3 or 4 linebackers for Miami?
Well, here's one, Teray.
I could name all the linebackers on the roster.
I kind of think you could, Gio.
but for the question's sake, though, I'm gonna go Mohamed Teray, and
stunning.
I know this is not going to be a popular pick among people.
Here we go.
I think Wesley Besaint is going to step up with the competition that they've added, especially being on a money year, his last year playing at Miami. I think the pressure can build diamonds. I'm not saying that I think he's going to become like a all-American player or whatever, but I think he's going to put forth his best season at Miami since he's arrived here. I know a lot of people had really high expectations. I think the competition's going to push him up just to where people were hoping he would be.
All right. So we got two. Besanth and Toure.
Yeah, those would be the two starting guys. The defense is a base 4-2-5.
Okay. So who do you think will be following them in the game?
Guys like Kamal Bonner, Popo Aguirre, and Cam Bobby Pruitt.
All right.
Actually, I kind of feel bad for some guys like – I shouldn't say I feel bad because now it's a business and whatnot, but guys like Chase Smith and Jalen Alderman, you know, those guys are going into their final years. Miami adds 2 linebackers. There's going to be – someone's going to get left out and not be happy with what their snaps are, especially if you're going into your last collegiate year. Then not everyone wants to be a special teams guy in their last year. So
Chase Smith looked good in certain games, didn't he? So
hopefully he had some moments last year in some spot duty here and there, but that's how I would draw it up from what I saw in spring.
All right, Manda, you agree?
No, I especially on the Saint point. I think bringing in Toure, and I knew he was going to say Besaint the way he started out the comment about not popular because he's been a talking point in chats and groups and whatnot. But yeah, maybe with the acquisition of Toure, maybe he does step up in his final year here.
All right. I like just the way he said Popo Aguirre. How do you pronounce his name?
I noticed. I didn't say it, but I heard.
I just rolled off. Yeah. I mean, it's just
Raul Popo Aguirre.
Phenomenal. Wow.
Well, you know what? After hearing that, he should be starting. Put Toure on the bench.
Exactly. Just that name. Can you imagine? Gio could be like the guy calling at the Hard Rock. He could be the guy announcing the players. I think that'd be great for you. I know we're running over time, but a couple of last questions. Andrew, I know this is greedy, but any chance with Pepe?
With Pepe,
Pepe.
Miami plans to continue recruiting him, but there's just a lot of ties there with USC, just family on that staff, has family on that roster that will be finishing up this year too. I know they were just at IMG to see him a couple of days ago, regardless of him committing to USC. They were hell-bent on at least landing one of Cantwell or Pepe this year. So, you know, just if somehow they found a way for both, that would be crazy in itself. I just don't think it's highly likely though.
Juan Emmanuel says Wiley.
Kellen Wiley, yeah, the freshman linebacker that came in. I like what Kellen Wiley could be. I still think he's just a little bit raw coming in, but the physical attributes are there. Like the athleticism is there. It's just got to click for him, and that's fine. But sometimes guys need a little bit of time, and that's fine.
Awesome. Let's see if there are any text questions. All right, Grout. We'll sneak out in a minute, guys. Jason Lopez, Jose Santos says. What about wide receiver Jason Lopez?
Yeah, that's the slot receiver from Chaminade Madonna Prep. Miami likes him a lot. He's a really good hoops player, too. Actually, I believe he just won a district title within the past week for the Lions. But I'll share this. They're going after a couple of guys like Van Spafford from California who's committed to Georgia. They're going after Braden Robinson from Texas. Jason Lopez is also in that mix of the slot receiver position. So you got to let some things play out first. I wouldn't say that he's a shoe-in just yet for Miami's class.
All right, Canyon Pickett. We're going to have a lightning round here one day. Just call up who you want. And Gio will give you 30 words or less something about the opportunity. Lightning round with Gio and Mondo.
Cannon Pickett, I've had a pick in for him with Miami for a couple months now. He's a legacy guy. His brother's on the team. His father played here in the mid-'90s as well. Miami Clemson battle there. UF running third. I like where Miami stands, though.
Awesome. Well, guys, great show. Thanks for everyone for joining us. I know we had someone last week that won the gift card. I don't know if they reached out to us. Gio, was there anyone you want to pick for a gift card today? If we pick someone with comments that has not won before?
Yes, actually, I would say Hassan. Yeah,
Hassan.
Always see Hassan.
All right.
Like whether I'm doing another show or here or whatever. I think Hassan just follows me whichever show I go.
Well, that's great. Well, that's great that you have your followers. So that's awesome. Hassan, congratulations. You can send a message to any of us either on X. You can send it to Mondo or Gio or at Canes_wear. Go ahead, reach us on any social media. Just give us your information, your name, and your email, and we'll get you a $25 CanesWear gift card. Anyone else that's won one that has not received it, please let us know. We may not have got your information. Thank you to everybody for making the show great. We appreciate it. I did see before that Juan Manuel said, he wants to start the two show a week club. Thank you very much, Juan Manuel. We appreciate that. The 2 show a week. Tough enough to get all 3 of us together for one. And Cliff today, he was supposed to be here as 2 people, but instead he's here as no people. Mondo, any closing comments? Where they can see you? Anything about Mondo that you want to tell people about?
Well, I'm always on X and, always talking about the Canes and all the damn Dunkin' coffee I drink. And just been busy at work and the kids. I know my daughter's got a dance recital Saturday morning, so it's a lot going on. Just ready for football season, and just go Canes. Let's go, baby.
All right. Gio, how about yourself? What do you got going on? And tell us a little bit about where people can find you.
Yeah, everyone can find me on X at Gio Million. You could also check out the private board to the Discord. Highly suggest it. A lot of people have subscribed. A lot of people are really happy with it. The information they're getting, how early they're getting it, and the accuracy of it too. The link is on my X account. I'll share it in the YouTube comments after this post up. Also, I'll be live again tomorrow with Amon Richards on Who Wants Smoke later in the evening tomorrow. So a lot of stuff we will be discussing on there, and just excited for official visit season. There's going to be a lot of stuff popping up, a lot of things happening, some commitments coming around the corner too when official visit season arrives as well. So the train's going to continue rolling. And I will tell you, if you're a Miami fan out there, don't let them tell you anything about Cantwell that is negative, okay? Huge win for the program. Don't listen to the narratives. This was massive.
So this is real news, Gio.
Yeah, no fake news.
No fake.
Right. No fake news there. They will try to spin it any way they can. Like, we're going to go ahead and take you 3 stars away from him. Whatever it takes, they're going to try to downgrade it, because we know what the biggest fear of any team in the SEC or anywhere that Miami actually comes back to being where they were. That'll be obviously a very difficult situation, but hopefully we're at the threshold here, and we've got the depth and everything else. So remember to follow Gio. Remember to follow Mondo. You can find me at CanesWear, CanesWear.com, Canes_wear on Twitter, CanesWear on Instagram, Brett Mitchell on Facebook. Wherever you find us, just, always great. We appreciate all the Canes fans that always join us. We appreciate everybody that shops in the store. Remember to smash the like button, FTSN, the networks. Like it, subscribe. They got a lot of Dolphins talk, a lot of other programs on there that are really cool. So just listen, smash that, like it, and follow. And guys, everyone, thank you so much for being part of the show today. You were awesome. And thank you for all the questions. I had a lot of watchers today, so thank you so much. And we'll leave you with It's All About the U. Let's go, Canes.
Go Canes, baby.